Right, I just thought I'd do a little roundup on the ATS receivers. I haven't talked about those for a while. I have been using this ATS 25 in the shack, and I think my overall impression of this radio is it's basically this radio with a better screen, not entirely unexpected. The tuning encoder is a lot better on the ATS 25. It feels better and it works better, and so far it's shown no signs of skipping or anything. So hopefully that's one big improvement. But I think RF wise, there are times where I actually think the ATS 20 is a little bit better. Very nice screen on this. It's very easy to navigate around the bands, as we've already discussed. But the bottom line with these radios, with both of these radios actually, is that they're, for the experimenter, they have been described as a curiosity, really, and that's really what they are. In terms of a serious shortwave receiver, if you're looking for something you can use out of the box, then either one of these is probably not the best radio for you. Neither of them comes with any instructions whatsoever. Certainly with the ATS 20 there's been a lot of quality control problems. I know some of the commenters I've had radios that either didn't work properly, like they didn't work on SSB, which is the same experience I had. Some people were unable to tune them, or they turned on and they just got stuck at the boot screen. And I think there was some problem with the ATS 25 getting stuck at the boot screen as well. So one thing to look out for is you'll order these, you'll pay good money for these, but the quality, you may be lucky. This second of my ATS 20s has been very good. Even the encoder is still working so far, and my ATS 25 has worked as well as it should, but maybe I've been lucky on that one. If you're looking for a basic good all-round receiver, what I've been really impressed with is the D808. This is a Suodon one. The XHData is identical, a different colour case. I think that is the only difference. Comes with its own little carry case as well. These actually come with a set of instructions, basic instructions, but enough to get you going, and they're fairly simple to use. You've got everything that the ATS radios have got and more. You've got RDS on FM. You've got single sideband. It's not a pleasure to tune on sideband. It's similar to the ATS radios. You've got that chuffing, that muting when you're tuning. But the audio quality is pretty good. You've got a basic display, which is absolutely fine. You've got memories, like I say, RDS on FM. You've also got AM, medium wave. You've got a built-in ferrite loop on these receivers, which of course you haven't got with either of the ATS radios. You either have to use a telescopic or use an external loop, as I have with mine. What it does have in common with the ATS radios is rechargeable batteries in these. These are the 18650 cells that a lot of the vaping devices and similar things, torches, use. So whilst some people say that the rechargeable is a restriction over AA batteries that a lot of radios take, the battery life on these is very good. Obviously you can recharge them via USB, but if you wanted, you could also get some spare 18650s and charge those in an external charger and just swap them over. It's just a battery compartment. You can easily remove the cell. Now of course with the ATS 25 and the ATS 20, once the battery's flat you have to recharge it. Theoretically you can use the radio while it's charging, but you tend to get a lot of noise from the USB connection, so it's not really practical. The battery life on these is very good, and very good on the ATS 20 too. But the form factor, it's more of a desktop form factor on the ATS, particularly the ATS 25. It's not really a portable radio in terms of throw it in a suitcase and, you know, if you're staying overnight in a hotel room or something. This isn't really the right radio. Obviously you can use a telescopic whip on shortwave and FM, but medium wave telescopic whip isn't going to work very well, so you've got that issue. Whereas the 808 is very sensitive on medium wave. Rubbish on long wave, useless on long wave, and I've just turned the long wave band off on mine because it's absolutely deaf. But it's surprisingly sensitive on medium wave. I would say it's as sensitive, if not more sensitive, than the ATS-25 on shortwave, and it's just a whole lot easier to use. So my recommendation is this: if you're looking for a nice portable. The build quality, well, it's okay. It's built down to a price. I mean, this is a cheap radio, and to a certain extent, it feels it. But it's not bad. It's not the equivalent of, you know, something like the Sony here, 7600 GR. It's in an earlier video of mine. This really does feel substantial, and this radio is probably going on for 20 years old now, still going strong. I'm not sure whether the 808 will still be going in 20 years, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I may be being slightly unfair to it here because it works, and it works well. It just feels, you know, a little bit plasticky, let's say. But more reliably, you're more likely to get a quality one of these than one of these, or even the ATS-25. 60, just over 60 UK pounds here at the moment from the XHData website, which I think is great value. You'll pay more for the ATS-25, and it's not worth it. It really isn't, and you'd be better off with one of these. That's just my opinion. If you want an experimenter's radio that you can upgrade because of the embedded Arduino in these, there's a fair bit can be done to change the way the display works and the way the tuning works and so on. Similarly with the ATS-25, there are now upgrade paths for that, for upgrading the firmware. But things like if you want the battery voltage to display properly on one of these, you're going to have to do an internal mod. You're going to have to add some components. You're never going to make a really good receiver out of this. This is you know, on the RF side of it, it's very, very basic. It does suffer with overload. You need to switch the attenuator in a lot of the time. They call it an AGC for some reason on this. It's an attenuator, and most of the time if you've got an external antenna, you're going to switch the attenuator in. So that's a little indication of, you know, just the limits of the RF performance of this one. This doesn't react too badly to an external antenna. I've tried it, and it's not too bad. There's many better desktop receivers on single sideband than this. I think the chuffing, the muting, soft muting I think they call it, on SSB is a common problem with a lot of the modern receivers, and I think it's down to the chip that's inside here, the SI4735. But in fairness, and if you've seen my Sony 7600 GR video, this suffers similarly on SSB. When you have to tune this with the up-down buttons on the keypad. There's no tuning knob. There's a little fine-tuning control on the side. But you will find, as you tune sideband on this, you've got that chuffing. So it's just one of those things. If you're used to a communications receiver or a transceiver, you will notice the difference. Nevertheless, if I was away from home, this would be the radio I'd be taking with me. It's compact, good battery life, and it does everything I needed to do. So that's just my view on the XHData D808 versus the ATS radios. Do yourself a favour. I would avoid this. If I was looking for a cheap, reliable receiver, I'd get this one. Thanks for watching.